be proactive this year. Awesome. Well, thank you for both of you joining me. And again, please put questions in the chat or I'm happy to answer them at the end. But yeah, I'm just really here to give you a quick overview and then answer your questions about our skiing / snowboarding. I'll say skiing a lot, but it does include snowboarding for Georgia Highlands, our PHED 1420 course. We do have a PHED 1421 for intermediate skiers. But that course is really just if you take this, if you want to go for a second time. So regardless of skill level, if you're a student, you would register for PHED 1420. Even if you're a professional skier, that would still happen. And that way you can kind of take this class twice and build those skills. And your learning experience will be matched towards your skill level, regardless of if you've never seen snow before to you're skiing in the Olympics. We can get you lessons that can help you along the way. So with that, big thing with the trip to note is that the actual ski course occurs January 1st through January 5th. So that's the Monday, January 1st through Friday, January 5th. The Monday and Friday are both travel days. And so you'll be traveling, you'll only ski probably about half those days. And then the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll ski kind of a full business day. For this kind of course, I know it kind of stinks that it's the first that we're traveling up there. It'll definitely be crowded that first day we're skiing. Hopefully towards the end of the week, it starts to get a little less crowded and we can have a little bit more room without as many people there. But it's just kind of the way the calendar falls this year along with the GHC schedule. One important thing to note for sure is that the skiing and snowboarding course is completed by the time your other spring classes start. So when you head home Friday, January 5th, everything you need to do for the ski course is fully completed. Your grades won't come in until kind of March. I'll put stuff in D2L, but your final grades won't be posted until March. But it is a class you can kind of stack and take as part of your spring load, but does actually kind of finish before your other spring classes. So it's not very burdensome in that aspect. Other things important to note is that you do have to be fully registered for the course before December 4th. And at the very end, I'll talk about the kind of 3 steps you need to have completed by December 4th, or be at least communicating with me that we're finishing up those in the next day or two. So with that being said, again, we have those dates. It says 2023. I always miss the years so many places in all these documents. It is 2024 that we'll be going. With our ski course, we do use what's called the French Swiss Ski College at the Appalachian Ski Mountain. Kind of we work with them, partner with them for professional ski lessons and kind of helping us to put all this package together. They are based out of Blowing Rock, North Carolina. Where we're staying is Boone, North Carolina. That's about a 15-minute drive apart. So you'll drive 15 minutes each day up to the mountain. It is important to know when you sign up for this course and pay kind of the fee. So there's the course fee that you pay up front. And then if you're taking this course for credit, of course, you'll register for the class PHED 1420, and that's included with your tuition. But the fee you pay includes 5 sessions of skiing or snowboarding lessons. And so beginners and intermediates have a slightly different kind of amount of lessons, but everyone will start as a beginner, even if you're pro level. It's really just the class that you're signing up for. But basically you get 5 days worth of skiing. So that includes your lift tickets for the mountains that we go to. That includes your skis, snowboards, boots, poles, helmets, boots, anything like that. It includes your lessons. So you get 5 lessons. Each of those lessons are about an hour long. And so then that also, for most people, will include lodging. So it includes lodging Monday night through Thursday night at the Quality Inn and Suites in the University area of Boone, North Carolina, in case you want to look that up. The biggest thing to note is that we include everything you need to ski, but the things that aren't included in the price that you pay are your travel. So you're responsible for getting from wherever you live up to kind of the Boone, Blowing Rock, North Carolina area. And your transportation to and from kind of the mountain and the hotel every day. So all of your travel you're responsible for. You're responsible for food. I will say the Quality Inn we haven't stayed at before, but according to their website, according to the phone calls, they do have free breakfast every morning. So trying to help you with food costs, but you're responsible for your food costs there. I save money by simply stopping in the store on my way up, picking some stuff out at the grocery store, usually a Walmart, and kind of packing a lunch for each day. And I may go out once or twice throughout the week. The other thing you're responsible for is clothing. I know that sounds kind of weird, and we kind of talk about in our first couple of class meetings, kind of how you can dress for snow, but most people have stuff they can use for a week to go skiing or snowboarding. If you know that you're in love with it, you can buy some more expensive, more professional gear. Maybe it's a little bit more durable, but it's really about layering, making sure you have kind of a waterproof layer and staying warm. Last year, I will say it got to 65 and we were taking layers off, trying to find thinner and thinner layers. But some years it's been down into the teens and you're really bundling up. And so the fee that you pay includes your lessons, your lift tickets, your equipment, and lodging. If you choose to, there is an option where you don't have to pay for the lodging that we have secured. And so these are student prices on the screen. Realize if you're a Con Ed student, so you're not a GHC student, there is a different pricing structure, which I'm happy to talk with anyone about. But you really have kind of 4 options to choose from. So the first 2 kind of at the top are either you need rental equipment or you have your own equipment. So in rare instances, we do have people that may have skied before and have their own ski or snowboard equipment. You can save some money by not needing rentals. Most students tend to need rental equipment, so we're kind of in this first column. And then you have 2 housing options. So you have a multi-person room, and so we'll put 2 to 3 people in a room. So if you pay this $600, you'll have 1 to 2 other roommates that stay in the hotel room with you. There are rollaway beds available at the hotel. If you know people going on this course, there is a spot on one of the forms you fill out to let me know who that is, so I can assign you guys to the same room. If you've got 2 buddies going, you guys can all stay in the same room, and that's perfectly fine with me. Or you have the own housing option. And so the own housing is where you save some money because we are not booking your housing for you. You're not going to stay at the Quality Inn and Suites, or at least not through us, and you find your own housing. So we do have students do this every year. They find Airbnbs, or they want a different hotel. Maybe they have reward points for somebody, or a parent that has reward points and get them a free hotel. So basically the own housing is I'm not responsible for finding your hotel or where you're staying at each night. And so that's the cost that you see there. And so that's the general pricing. This fee does have to be paid by that kind of December 4th deadline. You pay that up front. And if you have financial aid, you may get reimbursed kind of when those reimbursements come out in February. But you do have to pay this up front. You can't just say, I have financial aid coming and it's covered. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way because our course does happen before the semester starts. That kind of covers most of that. A quick rundown of the schedule. So January 1st is when you kind of leave to go to the mountain. We have a mandatory orientation around 2:00 at Appalachian Ski Mountain. I kind of give you the address, kind of tell you there's a room there. But basically you drive up that day, kind of have to leave kind of early. It is a little bit of a drive. And I recommend that you eat lunch before that 2:00 because what happens is at 2:00, we kind of check in and you get all of your equipment, get everything you need, get changed out, and then you go out to the mountain and you get your first lesson on Monday around 3:30. You get your first lesson pretty quick. They teach you some basic skills, and then and then from there, we ski for the rest of the night. So it's a night ski, your first one. Gets dark, the lights are on. It's a fun, kind of cool environment. We ski usually till around 9:30, 10:00 that night, getting a good kind of session in, a short session for you to learn how to ski. And then from there, you kind of change out, put your gear away or put it in your car, and then you go and check into the hotel and you're there for the night. And then the next couple of days pretty much look the same. We get to the mountain right as it opens around 9. You have a lesson, 2 lessons on Tuesday, one at 10, one at 12:30. You kind of move through that. You ski for the whole day. We usually stay till about 5:00. Wednesday looks the same. You get 2 lessons. You kind of ski throughout that day. And so the one thing I do like to note is that when we are not on the mountain skiing, you are free to kind of be an adult. So I don't dictate like you have to be in your hotel room by this time or anything like that. Do have roommates, so you want to be respectful, but if you want to go out to eat or you want to kind of explore the Boone area, you are allowed to, but you need to know that everyone has my number up in that area. And for sure, I don't need phone calls. So I always say, act responsibly, but you're adults and I treat you as such until I, get told that I don't need to. On Thursday, the 4th, we do like you to experience a different ski mountain. So we go to Sugar Mountain Resort. It's a little further away in a different direction. It's a little bit bigger, has more slopes, has a different feel to it. And we like to kind of expose you to the range of things you can see if you become a skier or snowboarder. We arrive at 9 and ski till about 4:30. You just kind of carry your skis with you. And then Friday the 5th, we go back to Appalachian Ski Mountain. You check out of your hotel that morning before you leave. You arrive about 9. You start skiing. You do have like a little bit of a skills test that goes through there. And we usually ski till about noon is when I kind of get you all together, take a group photo, and then say, if you want to go home, you can. That way you can get home before it really gets dark. But you do have to be done skiing by about 5 or 6 o'clock that night. This says by 6, but I know last year was at 5. And so you can get a full day in, but most students tend to leave around 12. But I'll hang out until the last person's ready to go. So last thing to note is kind of if you're interested in this course, what steps you need to take. So the first one is if you're a student, you need to sign up for PHED 1420. You sign up for that for spring semester. The second thing is you need to let me know if you don't have it already, but shoot me an email and I'll send you a sign-up packet. It's about 3 or 4 forms, kind of signing, liability waivers, giving me emergency contact information, and also just filling out some basic kind of, do you need housing? Do you need equipment? Are you wanting to ski or snowboard? Some things like that. So a small packet of some paperwork to submit to me. And the biggest thing you have to do is you have to pay that fee, right? So whether that's the $600 or kind of whatever, but kind of that general fee to sign up for the course, you have to get that paid to our business office. Make sure you get a receipt and then email me a picture of that receipt so that I can keep track of it, just in case the business office kind of assigns it to the wrong area. We never have lost someone's money, but sometimes I have to show them like, hey, this student paid on this date, and they can look it back up and make sure it's moved into the right spot. If you do those 3 things, you're fully signed up, and we want that by December 4th. And then there is an important thing to note of you do have 2 kind of in-class sessions. These happen on 2 Tuesday evenings in December, the 12th and the 19th. They're 2 hours long on the Cartersville campus. And basically this is to make sure you know the laws about skiing so that you're safe. And there are actually laws with skiing. Make sure you know how to dress, the basics of skiing. So the concepts of it, nothing too crazy. I send you home with a take-home exam. Got a week to complete it. This is nothing really to worry about. If you come to those 2 lessons, pay attention, which you will be because you want to know the information. The test is pretty straightforward. And then the last thing I always have is the Sunday before we leave. I know this is New Year's Eve. I do it pretty early in the day. There's a drop-in Zoom session, and this is simply a quick check-in to make sure that you haven't, broke your wrist and can't go anymore. Something's occurred, or sometimes I have updates. So this was about 3 years ago. There was no snow on the mountain the first day we went up. So that first, when we drove up, we couldn't actually ski. And so I was able to tell students that they didn't have to wake up early and leave. They could leave at 8, 9 o'clock in the afternoon, get up. We didn't ski that first day, and then we were allowed to ski even more the following days. So just updates in case something comes along the way. And that's kind of what you're looking at. So you got 2 in-class sessions. You've got a Zoom drop-in meeting, literally takes about 5 to 10 minutes of your day. And then finally, there's a fee, or there's the trip itself, the 1-week trip. So that kind of covers everything that I wanted to go over. I saw either logged out or got dropped. I'm not sure. But does anyone have any questions or concerns?
I do not.
Cool.
So I would just do the 450 for her and 450 for me.
So give me 1 second. Let me stop this recording.